Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 21 of the F1 2021 Fantasy Review. Yesterday we hit back finally having a look at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. A bit of an apology as to why there was no sort of fantasy review from Qatar. Unfortunately, I'd started working some new hours and then by the time I'd sort of remembered, it must have been sort of like Wednesday night at the time, that I completely forgot to do the fantasy review because I got wrapped up with some other projects. It just sort of seemed too late to sort of make a video worth covering it. So I thought, you know, we'll just jump in today, quickly obviously run through Qatar as well, of course, before we dive into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as well. That, again, a bit like Monza earlier on in the year, where unfortunately, I couldn't do a video from that one as well. Probably one of our best results of the year there. 181 points overall. Perez being a heavy hitter there, as our Turbo, as well as Max Verstappen with 56 points as well. And obviously, Ferrari had a really good weekend, which is kind of where most of our points lie in now, is whether Ferrari have a good weekend or not. That's definitely foreshadowing ready for this weekend as well. There you can see, yeah, so 181 points for our main team, 30 points for the meme team there. Actually did surprisingly okay. Only Tsunoda and Latifi got us negative scores there, but Mick and Mazepin did alright, as well as Giovinazzi and Haas there. And of course, the team three, the lottery team, didn't do horrendously. Of course, Bottas had that puncture, and then Perez again obviously had a decent race. Vettel, Gasly, Latifi all were a bit mediocre. Of course, Gasly just went backwards as the race went on there. Again, Ferrari scored us some decent points. But looking to Saudi Arabia, not such a good picture. In fact, yeah, my lottery team did better than our main team there, which is not ideal this late on in the year there. You can see Bottas, again, obviously took that P3 right at the line, did really, really well there. Perez, of course, didn't make it past about lap 15. Vettel, of course, yeah, he had to retire later on in the Grand Prix. Gasly did pretty well, earning us 12 points as our Turbo there, and Latifi didn't do badly this weekend to give us another 13 points there. And Ferrari, again, wasn't a horrendous weekend for the team, but neither of their drivers scored particularly well. Sometimes the point system in this series, it's still I question, because this week Sainz and Leclerc scored less than they did at Qatar, but Ferrari scored more points. Make of that whatever you will. Of course, the meme team, Mazepin minus 28, Mick minus 12, Tsunoda minus 3. We're down the order still with the meme team, which of course is the aim at the end of the day there. But again, Latifi and Giovinazzi both actually doing pretty well this weekend. Giovinazzi ran a fairly underrated weekend for the most part, if I remember correctly. Of course, as always, if you want sort of my full thoughts and feelings, of course, Jamie and I will be back tomorrow with the podcast. I've actually already recorded it for once at the time of recording this. Yeah, it's definitely one you want to check out. So, of course, we'll be back tomorrow to run through all sort of like the nitty-gritty from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, as while there plenty to talk about, as I'm sure you guys are all aware. But in terms, though, of our main team, again, wasn't quite what I wanted, unfortunately. Mazepin minus 14, Perez is our Turbo with minus 12 there was very, very gutting. So what we could really bank on was Verstappen and Ferrari having a good weekend. Of course, Charles Bindi on Friday didn't do too badly on Saturday. Obviously did really well, on Saturday, and then had a fairly okay showing on Sunday. Carlos Sainz did well on Friday, binned it on Saturday almost twice, and then again they both sort of had a bit of a quiet race in the end. I think obviously they ended up finishing fairly near each other, if my mind is not playing tricks on me there. So Ferrari scored us 38 points, Max scored us 37, and then basically the rest of them evened each other out, which was not good to just walk away with 82 points from the weekend there. So yeah, like I said, our lottery team actually outscoring our main team as well. That was not ideal as we head into the final weekend of the year there. But up to 430 members, we're still nestled inside the top 200 at the moment. Whether we can just sneak away a top 150 is the real question there. But you can see a lot of people haven't now used their Mega Drive, just one weekend to go of the season. I don't think anyone really wants to be putting their Mega on Lewis or Max this weekend, of course. Who knows what's going to happen in Abu Dhabi to finish off the campaign there. But still, despite all that, it is Max T, Mansell's Mustache on top there, for 38.5 points clear of Nyan Deep in the P2 there. Cancun still in third place ahead of Jake and Araman there. Marcel, Leonardo, Damjan and Isaac still inside the top 10 there. And then Daniel P with Slovenian Juice. He's still got his Mega Driver. So if he does well this weekend, he could still be eyeing up a podium by the end of the season there. So very, very intrigued to see who Daniel is going to roll with. Let's just have a look then. I'll give you guys a quick shout out, of course, for Qatar. A Mog finishing top of the league that week. I think I apologise. I did see you in the comments a couple of times asking when the video was going to come live. Now I completely understand why, so fair play, a bit of a round of applause there still, obviously, for finishing top in Qatar a couple of weeks ago there. Connor 5 points back ahead of Josh and Araman on 317 each, and then Haiti in P5 there. So a Mog, he had Max Verstappen as his mega, 168 points, and he didn't even win the race. Is pretty good going there. Perez is a turbo and Red Bull, so that was, yeah, pretty much the dream team that weekend. And of course, Gasly, Sainz and George Russell as well. So GG's to a Mog there. Connor as well. Leclerc, Verstappen actually scored more with Leclerc than you would have with Perez as your turbo there. And then Red Bull, Norris, Gasly and Russell that time round there. So of course, yeah, really, really good going by those guys. Daniel actually finished top of the non-mega drivers there with 236. Verstappen, Leclerc, Red Bull again, Ocon, Sainz and Pierre Gasly. That's a really good team. You haven't really got anyone that's really bad in that one, so fair play to Daniel as well for being able to squeeze in all of those on to his roster. Yeah, that's really, really good going at this stage of the year. Then we had Carrie and Kieran, who both used their mega, just finishing a little bit further behind. How Hamilton scored so much less than Verstappen when he dominated the weekend in Qatar, I'm not really sure how that one works out. But yeah, let's have a look then at Saudi Arabia, of course, from the weekend. It was actually Carrie on top there. Really, really low scoring week for everyone. 234 was the maximum anyone got in the league there. And basically all of those came from Lewis Hamilton by the looks of it there. So fair play to Carrie for that one there. Yeah, Hamilton 147 with Sainz on 34. Gasly on 22. Norris on 5. And then Mick Schumacher, of course, with minus 12 there, as well as Ferrari scoring some good points. But yeah, no one really wanted to use their Mega Driver in these final couple of weekends of the year. So I think a lot of people accidentally wasted them there. Omaraga's in P2. You can see he rocked up with Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen. That's good going, squeezing both of those in, but it's a shame the rest of his team really took a hit from that one there. Our highest non-Mega Driver team there is John D. Just give a quick shout out there for finishing P3. Was 9 deep, and you can see it wasn't a weekend of trying to get big scores. It was just trying to get a weekend where no one scored badly. You can see consistently across the board there, his lowest performer was Pierre Gasly with 22 points, which, yeah, I mean, that's really good going for this weekend, apparently. I feel slightly less bad about how badly I did at the end of the league there. So yeah, 9D with 188, Daniel P on 182, and then we had Mohammed as well, our top Saudi from this week as well in his home Grand Prix. Craig in 7th ahead of Karan and Thomas there, Laura J inside the top 10. Cooper finishing tied in 10th place there with Verstappen 111 points. That's a bit gutting for you, I'm sure. And then Perez in minus 12, which really took a lot of points away there. Where did we finish then at the end of the week there? As you can see, Umraga's inside the top 20 using his Mega Driver as well. We did not finish well this week. Everyone scored like just over 100 points. So one of our teams then, 261st, 337th, and 427th was not quite the way we wanted to finish the week out of 430 members there. But yeah, it didn't quite go to plan for us in Saudi Arabia. And like I said, it wasn't that we scored really badly. It was just the fact that we just scored slightly worse than everyone else who also didn't score particularly well. It's all a bit strange at this stage of the game there. But yeah, of course, we had a quick look through the top 10 there. You can see, like we said, Daniel is still definitely, he can rustle some feathers there. And if he picks his Mega Driver right, he could still finish P2 or P3 in this championship. I think Mansell's Mustache Max has just about done enough. It looks like he should claw on there, unless the absolute disaster in the final race of the campaign. We are, yeah, still 160th overall. So are we going to be able to claim many more places? I mean, it's all so tightly bunched up. Could we still get top 150 if we get a good weekend in the finale? How many points back are we? Like 30 odd. The top 50 is still on at this stage of the campaign there. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for in the final race weekend of the year there. In terms, though, of our teams, is it worth changing anything up for the final race of the campaign? Do I want to believe in Lewis Hamilton? That, of course, is the real question. I haven't got any wild cards, so I'm not really sure I want to change up too much of my roster here. I think Ferrari, this should be a track that suits them quite nicely as well. It could be a track McLaren are a bit more in the running there, but Ferrari, yeah, their power unit, of course, really delivering quite well late on in the campaign. Of course, we've got all the changes to Abu Dhabi as well this weekend. I think, you know what, final race of the year, we're going to keep it as it is. We're going to try and keep our eggs in the basket. We've already got them in for the final race of the season. We have 6 substitutions left in your sub bank. I'm not too worried about using any of those. But yeah, we're going to stick as it is. That doesn't mean that I believe Hamilton will become world champion. Of course, like I said, if you want to know my full thoughts and feelings about that, yeah, definitely be back tomorrow and check out the podcast as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video as well. You know, as always, I know I keep saying it, but there's insane support on the channel at the moment. You know, we're nearing in on 25,000 subscribers as well. You guys have been absolutely brilliant throughout the entirety of F1 2021. Let me know as well where you guys currently sit in the league. Of course, in the final race of the year, I might do a bit of a bumper episode where we go back through, you know, sort of a lot more of the running as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you guys next week where we can look through the final results from F1 Fantasy here in F1 2021. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel supporters. So a massive thank you to The Travesty, Patrick, Chwan, David, Ben, Aidan, Estacios, Cato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, Mighty Spork, Tazief, William, and Nanon for becoming channel members. If you want to be featured at the end of all these videos, make sure you just click the join button down below.